Yo, what is up, boys? How's it going? And welcome back to another episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast. With me today, we got Jordan, the anime dude. What's up, dude?
What's up, everybody? How are you doing today?
Pretty
Happy to
good,
be here.
man. Hell yeah, good to have you. And we got Recon, Anime Recon, King of Bad Taste. What's up, dude?
What up, boys? I am back in action, and I'm great to be here to suffer with everyone once more.
Speaking of suffering, we made each other watch anime once again. The chat chose
Boy.
Prince of Tennis. I chose Berserk. Jordan chose Ave Mujica. I don't even. The Die is
Yeah.
Cast.
Bang Dream.
Bang Dream, Ave Musica, the Die is
Bang Dream.
Cast.
That's a long name. Okay, and
Yeah.
Recon, what did you choose again? Gabriel Dropout, right?
Gabriel Dropout.
Gabriel Dropout. So we all had to do our homework, watch some of these anime, and we're going to talk about it today. What do you guys want to start with?
I think we need to start with how the chat chooses their anime. We might need to get some of these in early, get like a poll or something. I
wanna
don't. I
start
felt
with
bad
Prince
for
of
Recon
Tennis?
last week because
You want to start
I've already.
with
Yeah,
Prince of Tennis?
we can.
Well, while we talk about Prince of Tennis, guys, please leave your recommendations on what you want us to watch next week in the chat, and I'll run a poll at some point. I just got to open up the chat real quick. But yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I felt bad for Recon because we chose one. I was like, I've already seen it and I know I like it, but this man's been catching too many strays.
Deserved.
I say that he might have loved it. I guess he might have.
Yeah,
loved
we don't
it.
know. We don't
Recon,
know.
What did you think about Prince of Tennis?
Recon, what did you think?
It was okay.
He's
I-
the
wasn't-
overpowered
I mean-
main character in a new environment. It's
Look,
everything you've ever wanted in a
it's-
sports anime.
I thought he was going to be weak. I thought there was going to be some power struggle, but no, he's just really overpowered from the get-go. Like, people are just underestimating him, and like, hey, like they're making bets with him. Like, hey, if you can hit that can, I'll give you a lot of money, and he just hits every single fucking shot.
Yeah, it's crazy. I will say the flexes were cool. It was just fun. I usually don't have an issue with anime looking that bad, but I will say like it was super dated and I couldn't find a good version anywhere. So the ones that were on like illegal like yayo sites, like they were so pixelated. And this came out in the 2000s. So like
They were pretty pixelated, but I saw that there was like a Toonami Jetstream logo on the side, and I'm like, that's where I watched it back in the day. Like
Yeah.
I literally to the Toonami Jetstream website. So I don't know, brought back the nostalgia.
for me it was fun. I loved the little he was playing against a guy and we had all this exposition like the people watching were talking about like the plays and the serves, and then at the very end he's like, let me use my actual hand. He like slowly swapped it to his left hand.
Plays tennis just like Brigo.
Yeah, that's honestly what I used to do in badminton against my opponents. Like during the warm up, I would warm up with my wrong hand to like throw people off, and then
Right.
I without even seeing the Prince of Tennis, I would do the slow transition too. I thought I was an anime main character.
Man, whenever I played tennis in high school, I'm not gonna lie, I started out, I didn't know how to do a backhand. I would just switch the racket from my right hand to my left hand and do two different forehands.
That
And
is
then
the most
back-
Jordan thing I've ever heard. He's like, I'm good
But
with my
then
forehand. I'll do it forever.
I had a coach teach me how to do a backhand after that, and after that, I was just way more confident in the backhand than the forehand because I actually learned how to do it, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Don't have to just try to out athlete people anymore. Just actually learn how to play tennis.
That's so funny.
But
Is it
But,
wrong for me to say that I liked the way Haikyuu started a lot more, like during the first 3 episodes?
Not at all.
Than the Prince of
No.
Tennis.
no, Haikyuu's great.
Yeah, Haikyuu's
'Cause-
fantastic. I'm always a fan of the underdog story and like him being shorter, can't find a team,
Like-
finding his rival and like finally getting to
Like-
the tournament and losing. I think Haikyuu has a great start. That's like my style of preference. But I think Prince of Tennis had its own appeal for sure.
Yeah, understandable. I mean, Hinata was never great at the start. Like, he was okay, but he just kept with his old team. He just lost, and then he decides to join Karasuno, and then his life pretty much changes, and he becomes better. Like, that's the type of thing that I like when it comes to watching sports anime, or mainly any other anime. Just the underdog story. But this one wasn't that bad. It's just kind of predictable on what is gonna happen. From the get go. Like, yeah, he's overpowered. He's skillful. Yeah. We know where this is gonna go.
Did you guys watch the dub or the sub?
So, sub.
I watched dub
Japanese.
this time, but subbed originally.
I watched the dub and it was pretty cringe. It was pretty bad. The dialogue was killing me. And like some lines are like, he's the samurai junior or junior samurai. Like,
What?
because his dad was they called him like the samurai of tennis or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, he's Samurai Junior, and it was killing me. It was so
like his
cringe.
dad was a pro, went to go play in America, so he like grew up in America, right, winning tournaments over there. And as you know, with like a lot of pro athletes, but tennis in particular, like a lot of the people that get really, really good have been doing it like since they could walk.
Yeah.
So it's like he definitely comes across as one of those kids that's been holding a tennis racket since like he was a toddler, right? And he's good. He's good. I forgot how slow but yet hype these first few episodes were, as far as like slow rolling us, because there's a lot of cool characters in Prince of Tennis. But the first 3 episodes that we watched are literally just him flexing on guys that you'll probably never see again, or like you don't remember, just over and over again. Yeah, I don't know.
How much money did he win? But when he kept striking those cans, how much money did he win? I don't know.
It was supposed to be
They're doubling
10,000
it every time,
yen,
right?
10,000 yen or something. But like if you hit it 10 times straight, I don't know if they were doing it every time you hit it.
It wasn't about the money. It was about sending a message.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Don't mess with the prince.
It was a
Exactly.
cool flex though, because they put rocks in the can so you wouldn't knock it over. And then he's just like, "Yeah, you guys are cheating," and he lobs it on a perfect angle that knocks off the cap of the can so that the rocks can fall out, and then he just continued to hit it while having a conversation. Like it was just such a ridiculous flex.
Yeah.
Dude, they were knocking each other out in one of the matches of the tennis match too, like hitting each other with the balls. One guy threw a racket at the other guy, hit him in the face. I'm like, there's gonna be a knockout in this faster than Hajime no Ippo.
I will say
That's
I love
that's what I say when it's not great. It's okay.
yeah, I love the classic sports story of the underdog and whatnot. I feel like Haikyuu has one of the best first episodes in sports anime. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected Recon to vibe with this one a little bit more, just because it is somebody coming into a brand new environment, like it's an isekai, right? And he is that overpowered main character. He was not even getting close to losing in those first few games.
He already has the fangirls as well, and he doesn't remember their names, even though he's met them twice now. Like,
Yeah. He's rule of cool. He is too cool for that. He's in 7th
Honestly,
grade. He doesn't.
I think that the overpowered main character from the get-go fits more towards other genres than sports. Like, for example, isekai. Like that fits isekai super well because it kind of makes sense. He goes to another world, he gets all these powers. But for a sports anime from the get-go, it's like.
So here's the thing about
what I'm
Prince
trying to
of
say.
Tennis.
It's unrealistic.
Well, yeah. Prince of Tennis is not a realistic sports anime, right? It has fun with it.
Yeah.
I think one of the closest comparisons would be like Kuroko no Basket, as far as they basically have superpowers, right? Like it definitely takes it to the extreme on tennis.
Yeah.
It is superpowered tennis, but it's fun.
I kind of agree with Recon, where I do think having a powerful protagonist off the bat works with other genres better. I do agree with that. But I will say, like, it's not unrealistic in the way that, like, why is this guy so good? He probably had a racket in his hand since he was born, and now he's going against people that, like, a couple guys at the tryouts hadn't played tennis before, or like just started playing tennis. So like you're just following the story of a different character. In Haikyuu, there's other characters that were beasts at the beginning. If we followed their story, they would have been overpowered, right?
Yep. There's still value in that, right? But I know, I feel like tennis is one of those sports in particular where there's just like levels to that stuff that you don't quite realize. Like I went to a pretty small school, right?
Yeah.
And eventually, like I went to the state tournament for tennis because I was a decent athlete and I could kind of sometimes get the ball over the net. And like that was about all it took, right? Like you just have to get it back over more times than they can. It's kind of like us playing chess real quick, right? You just got to try not to blunder because we're pretty low elo, right? And then you go to that state tournament and you see the bigger schools playing where there are those kids that have just been doing it their entire lives, and you're like, that's just an entirely different game. They're just playing a whole different sport right there. So
I did pretty good when I did like the badminton and the ping pong at my school, because it was the same thing where it's like if you're just decently athletic, you're better than the people at your school. But when I went to the tournament, I continued to do well. Tennis, I got rolled. Like I went to the tournament for tennis, and I did well at my school. Went to the tournament for tennis. I won like one game against a random person. The second I would ever go advanced to like even like a second round, you play against these guys that've been playing tennis their whole lives, and they just destroy you.
Yeah, it's
You're better
a
at
whole different
volleyball
game.
and hockey, Brigo. You're better at those two.
Yeah, but I don't have the stories. Like the stories with like playing in school and then going to these tournaments I have with like badminton and like other sports, like random sports. Like hockey, I played my whole life. Like I'm the person that if you guys ran into at a tournament, like I didn't even play for my high school team because it wasn't even worth it. Like I was
Right.
like I was out. I had my own club team, and my dad. Like I made the high school team. Like in junior, I made the varsity team. Like where it was grade 12. I made it when I was like 12 or 13 in grade 9. And my dad's like, "You're not playing on that team. It's not worth your time." Like
Because you've been playing for however long,
I've
right?
been playing for so long. It's like so I went and had fun and played other sports. Like for me, hockey.
Yeah.
Low-key, I miss your hockey streams. You need to do one again.
Honestly, I should. I really should.
Hockey is fun to watch. I do hate the Leafs though. I don't know if that'll get me canceled or not, but
Dude, they're doing good.
I can't stand them.
They folded yesterday, but we're doing well. We're winning against Florida Panthers right now.
it has nothing to do with the team themselves. It's just I hate the name Leafs. Like
Oh my
it
gosh.
has a V in it. It's not even the right word. It's not even a word.
We're the
And they
Leaves.
can't English right.
We're the Leaves.
Leaves.
I would be on board at that point. If they have that rebranding, let me know. I'm there. I'm at the game.
Oh my god, you're so funny. Honestly, I was never very good at volleyball though. Growing up, Recon, I played it in high school and like kind of continue to play just for fun.
Volleyball is just a fun sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Anyway, let's
All
continue
right.
talking about anime. What is next?
Shall we rate it? Shall we
Oh
rate
yeah,
the
Prince
prince?
of Tennis.
Remember, Brigo, remember when I told you that I was the Prince of Chess?
Yeah, that was so fucking funny.
And
His
the
buddy
Prince of
said
Apex.
he was the Prince of Chess, and then like his first 7 moves were all pawns. Like he did not bring out any other pieces. Oh, my God.
I give I'm gonna give Prince of Tennis I'll give it like a generous 5 out of 10.
I think that's fair. I'll give it a 5.5.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna rate it based on what I had it rated prior, and I also had it at a 5. This is great. This is
Nice.
solid
Okay.
series.
I've heard good
Okay.
things about the manga. I'm sure it gets better. We
Yeah.
only watched a couple episodes. As an introduction, I thought it was okay. Sadly, whatever like version was online on every website was so bad quality. Like I know it didn't look like that because like other anime in the 2000s did not look pixelated. Like it was fucking ripped off a VHS tape and then thrown down the stairs and then recorded on a camera. Like, I don't know why it was so
Yeah.
bad. I'm sure it's probably better on like Crunchyroll or something.
I do love sports series in general, and it is fun. It's a fun series. It's one I don't regret watching, but it's just one that I don't know if I'd ever go through and rewatch. Right, like some of the others.
Anyway,
I would
boys.
recommend you, Brigo, watch them on 9 Anime. It's better. It's a
On
really good
9
site.
anime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
maybe
watched
that-
it there. It was good quality.
It was good quality, really. I went on like
Yeah,
two
9
or
anime.
3 different sites, and they always like they were super pixelated. It was crazy.
So there are a bunch of different seasons of printed. Okay, never mind. You did explain the Rock thing. I was like, did you watch the right season? This is
No,
No,
there
the
were,
first
newer
season is
ones
like,
that are really good, but
The first season was like 160 episodes, and then
Yeah.
and then season 2 is 13 or 12 episodes.
yeah. Okay, we're good. We're
Anyway, let's go into my pick. I want to hear you guys talk about Berserk.
Oh boy. First
Why-
time-
why
first
only?
time watching Berserk for me.
Oh, yeah. Recon, first time watching Berserk from the beginning because you watched some 2016 back in the day. Starting in
did.
1997, Berserk. What are your thoughts, Recon?
Well, I've watched all of the newer Berserk, not 2016. I've watched the entire thing, and it was bad. Was there a second season to this? I think there was.
There may have been. I didn't watch it.
So for 1997, there's not. I think like a lot of people have like season 2 as the 2016 version or something.
Yeah,
Like is usually kind of how it goes.
The 2016 version also has a season 2 that came out in 2022, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've watched that. I don't remember. But going now back to the 90s. Oh boy. It was the quality first is pretty shit. We'll get that out of the way.
I honestly think I think it looks better than the 2016. No CGI. With no CGI, I genuinely think.
Yeah,
the
it didn't have any
1997
CGI. It didn't have the CGI, but still, it kind of just hurts my eyes to watch bad visual-looking anime. But here we have the fake black swordsman walking
killing me.
into some bandits and saving a bunch of slave girls. And he's just showing off his big sword. And it's like, oh my god, it's the black swordsman.
Okay,
I'll call him the fake black
But
swordsman.
episode 1, I will say the reason why I was saying maybe watch 4 episodes is because episode 1 does take place like in the future, and then we get a flashback. Like then they go
Yeah,
back in time.
and then we get a flashback.
And it's not even a flashback.
Where
Like the rest of this season is like him growing up and how he becomes who he is and what happens to him. You know.
Yeah. So it's like he joins a night school academy or something to become like a better like a brawler, to fight better. And that's where
not at all. Not even close.
Not even.
What is?
What are you talking about?
What is the night squad or whatever?
Oh,
he's a mercenary. He's a mercenary that's like getting hired to fight on the battlefield.
I was trying to find a word find a word for that. The mercenary club. That's where he meets
the band of the Hawks. The band of the Hawks.
The band of the Hawks. That's where he meets
The night school is crazy. Night school is fucking crazy.
I didn't know what it was.
Okay, the band of the
With
Hawks.
the high school, he joined the mercenary club. You know, it's great.
He turned it into bro. He turned it into a slice of life.
Okay, never mind. Forget about it.
Okay, continue.
So it's a mercenary group that he joins, and then he's just badass, and everyone is like shocked at just how good he is, and he defeats this big ass armored juggernaut guy over there. It's like it was cool. That's where he meets Casca and also Griffith, and Griffith bested him.
Yep.
And he's trying to like he wants to be better than Griffith. That I don't know if the hatred does start there towards what he then does to Guts later on in the series, but so far it's looking promising, is what I can say. I do like the characters a lot.
Okay, I'm glad that
There's
you're
good
liking the
action.
characters. You're liking the action. You watched it with your eyes closed. He went to a high school.
Yeah. Not high school, the mercenary club or whatever it's called.
Okay,
The knights and the.
I will say.
So yeah.
Upon rewatching it, I actually like appreciated it a lot more. I remember not like loving the first episode or even like 2 when I first started, and then it just gets better and better and better. But actually understanding and knowing what's going on the second time around, it's fucking peak. It's such a masterpiece. I love it. Jordan, take it away.
I mean, I love Berserk. It's one of my all-time favorite manga. So, but I really like the '97 series as far as I think it's my favorite adaptation because
So far, yeah.
they knew it wasn't going to. Yeah, so far, they knew it wasn't going to be like adapting the entire thing, right?
Mhm.
But they still wanted to nail in that first episode the foreshadowing that the manga does. So you know, it does things a little bit differently. It goes about it differently, but it says. King Griffith, is being like this, and then it kind of foreshadows all these things. Like things are gonna go wrong. Things are gonna go awry. He's gonna be the black swordsman that's, having to sleep with one eye open and fight these monsters called the apostles. And it's like, how do you get to that point, right?
Yeah.
And it gives you all that in episode 1, and then it leads you back to kind of where he came from, where he started at. And I love Guts. He's one of my favorite characters, but the stark contrast between the Band of the Hawk at the start and where he ends up is one of those things that kind of just sticks in the back of your head throughout the entirety of that first arc, right? And
I will say that is one thing, because now that I've watched it before and read the manga, going back, I appreciated episode 1 so much more. Because these things, and I'm sure to Recon as well, some of these things that they're mentioning about King Griffith, oh my god, King Griffith, and like the brand and the apostles mean fucking nothing to Recon in episode 1.
You've
right?
seen 2016, right? So you
So
should.
maybe
Yeah, but it was
true.
just confusing because I had to have Briggs with me to help me out. But, during episode 1, what was the deal with those demons saying like your body is ours? Like, what does that even mean?
So
when
he
they
has
say
the
that?
brand of sacrifice there on his neck, right?
Okay.
So
What does that do?
So the entirety of Berserk as a series and stuff is kind of him with grits and determination going against fate itself, right? He is constantly putting himself out there, putting himself at the edge of death on the battlefield, things like that. And it isn't until like episode 2 where he meets the Band of the Hawk that he kind of gets somebody who's willing to give that purpose, give that meaning, give him a dream, the little things in life, right?
Good explanation, Kai.
Let me guess. Is that Casca that's going to give him that dream?
Yeah, maybe. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
kind of everybody, right? The people you meet in your life that are important to you, that have that impact on you. The entirety of the Band of the Hawk is kind of that for Guts. And we see that they're not there in episode 1, right? We don't know how that happens. We don't know how we get there.
Yeah.
But he has all these monsters coming after him. He's like, they're constantly attracted to that thing on his neck. And he's having to sleep with one eye open because he he's just constantly being swarmed and attacked by these things, right? And he's
even
also
then-
hunting them out and seeking them out, things like that.
Even the way that he kills the demon is so unlike him. In like,
Oh.
if you watch like the next like 10 episodes or 15 episodes of Berserk, you'll notice like he's like definitely like a ruthless person and like very strong, but he's not the type to like lose his mind killing the demon, like continuously shoot it in the face and like be angry and ruthless and like want revenge.
Yeah.
So
There's some type of
It's-
personal grudge there, right?
yeah, this is a very tough situation because Recon has watched 2016 and 2022, but he has never watched the 1997, so he knows things, but we still can't spoil it for him because these first 25 episodes are so important for the rest of Berserk. These first 25 episodes.
I watched it on Netflix. Berserk. I watched it on Netflix.
Yeah. So I know you don't like CGI type anime a lot of the time, Recon, but you might like this one. So
Potential though, I genuinely might continue it though.
I'm trying to think because 97 is good at capturing those quiet moments. It does take the whole 25 episodes to go over what a lot of people consider one of the best arcs in all of fiction, right? Is
But
that
it's basically the
origin
epilogue,
story
right?
prior to 2016, right? It's more of a prequel, right? It's like a prequel to kind of what comes after. And like you saw the 2016 that comes after, but that prequel leading up to it is really good. And there is a movie trilogy that covers that. It is partially like CGI with some other beautiful scenic shots kind of in it. But it is a movie trilogy that covers everything that the 97 version covers. I feel like Recon might vibe with that more.
He might vibe with it more for sure.
I don't
I mean,
know.
the only thing that I remember from like the 2016 version was like Casca was mind broken because of what Griffith did to her, and then Guts is trying to save her and fighting all these monsters and shit. But I kind of see where this is going though.
Yeah.
But I should probably continue watching the 90s version just to see how this leads up to the events later on in 2016.
Yeah,
and,
that excites me.
2020.
It's a tough situation because like, we don't want to spoil it for you, even though you do know a lot of things. I do like the fact that you're considering continuing to watch it, though. That makes me happy. I would love for you to continue to watch it. We could talk about it a little bit each week, based off like whatever.
If you want, we
watch.
can do that. I can
Yeah.
keep watching it for the next week if you want to. Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
It
Because
just makes me so happy. That's a W.
it's one of those where I think the movies actually do a pretty good, decent job of like the action scenes and things like that comparatively. Because 97 is a little bit dated, but like 97 just does such a good job of capturing that like the heart of Berserk and like those quiet moments and things like that. That I don't know, the little things are so important, all right, and stuff like that. Those character based, those stories.
I also like the way the 97 handled certain things because in the manga, they're a little bit more gruesome with a couple things in regards to like the sexual assault and like the rape and stuff. But they still told it without telling it this time around, and it makes moments like Guts when the guy touches his arm in episode 1. He's like, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" He starts losing his mind. It makes like it makes it so much more impactful knowing what I know now. And then they do go on to like kind of explain it with his dream and with Gambino and whatever, but they don't fully like don't touch me, whatever.
Yeah.
Like they just don't fully show it. And I kind of like the artistic way of doing that and also making it a little bit easier for me to watch, which
Yeah, it's a weird mix because you can tell they're trying not to go too into detail of like the specifics and things like that, but it implies it, and then that's what I mean when I says it does a great job of capturing the heart, because like it does capture, the character of Guts and like the fact he doesn't like to be touched, right? Like the little things that led up to who he is as a person and kind of where he's at on his journey. So I don't know.
I'm very interested in seeing like how Griffith becomes the main villain, because during the first like 2-3 episodes, he's just a chill guy. Like he's good at his swordsmanship, and yeah, he's better than Guts from what it seems. But how did he like lead up to the events later on? Like that's what I'm interested in.
I'm actually a little sad that you've watched the 2016 and 2022 because for me, the ending of this season was one of the most heartbreaking, shocking, impactful episodes in anime. And I literally watched it.
I need to check that.
I wasn't part of any anime community. I wasn't spoiled in any way for it. So when I went into it, I was like, what the fuck is going on? It makes so much sense, but like...
I think it can still kind of do that. Like, I don't think...
It still will.
Granted, I haven't seen the
will.
2016 version, but like I said, the manga starts out with like a couple different chapters, kind of like the first episode does, of the Black Swordsman and kind of where he's at. And then it shows... you know,
Yeah, in retrospect,
like
of course, it was shown.
yeah,
It was definitely shown in
but
retrospect. But for
it
me, when
doesn't. Yeah,
when I first experienced it, I feel like I watched the first episode. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened.
yeah.
And then like I watched the next
The
20 or
shock
20,
value of it.
the next 24 episodes over the course of like a month or two, probably. So or
Mhm.
like a month. So I forgot about the first episode when like
Yeah.
shit starts going down, right?
See, I guess in my head and stuff, like I had that in the back of my head. I remember whenever I was reading it the first time, like that's just in the back of your head the whole time. Like, how did we end up there versus where we're at, right? And that
Yeah.
stark contrast, like, is just in the back of your head throughout that entire first arc, and then it just kind of like it is for Recon right now. Like, how did we get there? So,
But you know what? It will.
hopefully
fuck
that
you-
keeps it going.
I think
Yeah.
it'll fuck you up
A
either
long
way.
time, so I don't remember all that happened because it's just been a long
Yeah.
time. So, but yeah, I'll continue watching it.
Cool.
Let's go.
So maybe we'll instead of doing a chat pick, we could just continue to watch Berserk along
have
the
one
way.
that keeps going.
Have one
I'm
that
down for
keeps
that.
going, and then we
Give me
still
one.
recommend like 3 episodes of another.
Sounds good for me.
Finally, Berserk Virgin confirmed. And who would have thought it's anime recon?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, next anime.
Gabriel Dropout.
Gabriel Dropout sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right.
So, what did you
After
guys
all,
think of my
trash.
recommendation?
No,
Really?
no, not actually trash, but
It-
trash.
It was fun. It was funny. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So Gabriel, obviously a woman, and even what's the other? Raphael, obviously a woman.
Yeah.
Gabriel,
Gabriel,
Ga-
Raphael, Satania, and
Yeah, but such
you get to meet more characters later.
Satania sounds like at least Satania sounds like a what's it called? A girl name. Anyway, Gabriel is like the #1 angel in heaven, sent down to Earth to do good stuff for the world. Becomes addicted to video games and microtransactions, and becomes a shut-in, and definitely loses herself along the way. Is no longer very angelic, and it's comedic and funny as hell. I actually did enjoy it. Satania, who is from hell, is like doing like, I'm so bad, I'm not gonna do my homework. I'm gonna do like the most like minor, tiny like little little offenses, and it's so cute and funny. And then she even sees Gabriel like not pick up the soda or something from the floor, and she's like, how could an angel not clean up after herself? Like the way that they completely switch, and then Raphael is just, I don't know what's wrong with her. She's just crazy.
Yeah, she's very manipulative. I will say I do enjoy that about this series. Like I feel like watching 3 episodes, I kind of get the gist of it and what it's going to be about overall. I don't think it's going too many places with it, if I had to guess. But the characters themselves, it plays off of just being a stark contrast to expectations, right? Betraying expectations. You got the 2 angels. You would expect them to be angelic, and Gabriel was at the start, but they are everything that kind of is counterintuitive to that, and same goes for the devils, right? And then there's a lot of little skits, a lot of little jokes, and a lot of the jokes are kind of based off that same premise of what do you expect to happen versus what actually happens. So like my favorite ones were Satania, they're trying to play she's the butt of a lot of jokes, kind of deservedly so. She kind of brings it upon herself, but they try to like prank her, like, yeah, just pour some dashes of spice into that udon you got there, and that's probably 7, as she does like 30 different ones. But then jokes on them. She's like, jokes on you. This actually tastes good. Now let me do it for you too. And then she turns it around on him, right? So it's like she thinks she's gonna be the butt of the joke, and then she's not. It just, the whole anime is betraying expectations and being opposite of what it leads you to believe.
And it's cute. It's fun. It's funny. For some reason I compared it to K-On! While I was watching it, when it's not like K-On! At all. But somehow
Cute girls doing cute things.
Maybe that's what it is. But somehow like the
it
personality.
would be kind of like Nokotan, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because after like the first episode, it just goes into shenanigans. It's
Yeah,
kind of like that,
I
pretty
feel
much.
like the shenanigans that started. I know it's not like K-On! At all, but for some reason it gave me the vibes. Even though I watched so many other anime that should be closer to it, it's just more. I feel like the actual like character personalities, just I don't know. It gave me a similar vibe, and I loved K-On! So
Yeah.
I think I should probably keep on watching this.
This one is cute. It is cute. I will say it's the same director as Nokotan. I feel like he probably does some similar things. So it is that very much like
Is it the
sketch
same
comedy type of thing. Yeah, same director. it's very much that sketch comedy type of thing where you get these cute girls, you get you give them these distinct personalities, and then you let the shenanigans kind of happen naturally, right? So Raphael's very manipulative.
Oh wow, it is.
Gabriel's a gamer. Like she was that nice kid that was sheltered a little bit too much. That was the perfect role model student until she became a gamer. You know, that's just kind of how it happens. Then she becomes relatable. But yeah, I don't know. It was cute. It was funny.
Well, I'm glad you both liked it. But what would you rate it?
Oh yeah, we didn't rate Berserk, and we didn't rate.
Oh shit, I forgot to rate Berserk.
First.
Berserk for me, I would give it a 7 out of
Nice.
10 so far.
Jordan.
Yeah, probably 7 for the '97 version.
Honestly, like obviously, there's certain things that probably it wasn't like exactly like the manga. Maybe the animation's a little dated. Some of the cuts that he cuts people and the horse in half or whatever, you don't get to see as much as maybe they did in the movie, which was cool and like the actual blood spraying out. I still give it like an 8.5, dude. I thought that introduction was
Let's go.
beautiful.
Nice. All right, what about
It is
Gabriel
good.
Dropout? What would you guys rate it?
Like a 6.5. Enough to keep on watching.
Okay.
I guess.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I enjoyed it. I did have
Yeah.
fun with it, but it's one of those where I feel like it's not one that would keep my interest throughout the entirety of the run. Just unless it goes somewhere. If it goes somewhere, I might keep watching it. But
It's probably
it's
not.
like, yeah, it's one where it was kind of funny, but it didn't make me laugh as much as Nokotan. Humor is one of those subjective things where I don't know what it is. I did enjoy it, but I didn't laugh as much.
Yeah, you get to laugh a lot at Milkatan
Yeah.
because of the
Yeah.
things that she does.
So I feel like it's one of those where it's like, just does the humor hit or no? And it hits sometimes, but not enough for me to like continuously go out my way to watch it on this one.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Bang Dream?
Bang Dream. Ave Mujika though.
Yep.
Oh boy.
The die is cast.
Okay, you know what?
What they came back
The old boy, Recon, you go first.
Yeah.
I suffered through this one. I hated it. It's just
Oh.
exactly the same as the first one. Pretty much the same fucking formula.
No, it's
I
not.
figured
really
exposure
much-
might help you love
I
it.
mean, pretty much whatever we said last stream about Bang Dream, it implies to this second season. Everything that we've said. I hated it. The visual, it was shit. Music was good, yes, but I just can't. I can't handle that animation and the 3D CGI, man. It's really
No.
awful.
This is so sad.
You know what? If you didn't like the 3D animation last time, you're not gonna like it this time. And if you found
Yeah, it makes sense,
and if
though.
you found
Yeah.
it boring last time, you're probably not gonna like it this time. I do think
Everything what I said before goes straight to this one.
I do think the 3D animation has gotten a little bit better than in the other one, and like I do like when they're doing the performances, the different like angles that the 3D animation like what that they do with it, the different perspectives is cool. I will say I still don't love that all their faces are like the same in the 3D art style.
Yeah.
Still not in love with the look. Obviously, I'm there with you, Recon. I do think plot wise, this was better written, and it gave us some of the. A lot of the questions I wanted to know in the first 3 episodes of Bang Dream, I got the answer to in the first 3 episodes of Ave Mujika, which I was not expecting.
That's why I wanted to watch this season, because I didn't know either. I was right there with you.
Wait,
I'm
what
like, I don't
answers
have
did you
the
get?
answer.
What answers did you get from this?
The first Bang Dream It's My Go, it starts off with with one of the bands like disforming and like falling apart. One of the girls comes in and is like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm leaving. And then the other girl's like, I never had fun once in my life doing this or something. Like 2 comments that like came out of nowhere, and I didn't know why. I was like making guesses about like jealousy and like thinking that they're gonna fail or not being able to handle the criticism online or stuff like that. I had all these theories, and then season 1 or season 1 of this comes out, and the person's mom died, and then dad lost like 16.88 billion in like fraud, and she like left for a bit, and so she left for that reason, I think. And then the other girl, was like, what was it? She was like self-conscious of her ability to perform and was so worried about like not being able to meet people's expectations. I don't even fully remember what it was, but it was something along those lines. So she wasn't having fun anymore and was worried about like other people and stuff. So when that person said she was gonna quit, she like was like, "Oh, I'm not having fun anyway." type of thing. And she's the one that had like the whole meltdown on stage in this one because she's like having like a mental breakdown type of stuff, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you're watching the entire thing and just explaining it because I'm just skimming through this one.
Oh no, this hurts my heart.
It is tough a little bit. This one is tough.
It's so tough watching it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think Briggs kind of nails it. There's 5 members of that original band Kreischick that we see at the very first scene of My Go, like the break of that band. 3 of them go on to join My Go, and they have their story there. And then there's 2 that like we just don't know what's going on with them, right? Where like we have so many questions, we don't really get answers. And then this series is their story, and it kind of tackles that, right? So we see the Twin Tails girl has a lot of personal issues at home that she's kind of trying to escape from. She wants to go pro and kind of puts everything into this band, this vision that she has, and she's going all out for that vision, so much so that she kind of becomes a little bit what do you call it whenever you kind of zone in on something? Tunnel visioned, yeah, to where she's not really appreciating the people around her quite as much. And then we get an arc on I believe her name's Mutsume, the guitarist from the original band, and she's the one we knew the least about, right? But turns out her parents were both superstars or celebrities in their own right. She kind of grew up in their shadow, so she has a lot of that experience with acting and stuff from being a kid, but she just isn't. That's just not really her personality wise. She didn't like being in their shadow. She finally found a love for the guitar. She's like, this is kind of my thing, and she practiced every day, long and hard, became really good at it, took a lot of pride in that skill. And then, we see that kind of all come crashing down here once the die is cast, because there's a lot of big personalities coming together in this band. There's they all have different kind of visions for what they kind of want it to be. So the purple hair girl, the drummer, she's a YouTuber. She makes makeup videos and stuff, and like she's kind of coming in from the standpoint of less about the artistic vision, more of I want to be an entertainer, right? Like I want to entertain the people. And
is she the one that unmasked them?
Yeah, so she unmasked them trying to do that. Yeah, and you can't really undo that. At that point, the die is cast, and that who does that affect the most? The guitarist, who this was her way of kind of separating from her personal identity and just being able to just fully give herself to the guitar and play there. And yeah, we see that kind of come crashing down and how that affects her mentally and psychologically and emotionally and things like that, right? Because she's not good at expressing herself. We see that because she blames herself for how that first band fell apart.
She couldn't talk when confronted half the time, and then she blamed herself.
The words don't come out right. Yeah. Like and then we see like all that suppression. You know what they say? False smiles or false tears bring pain to others, but false smile brings pain to oneself. So she acts like everything's okay, but like inside she's kind of bottling it up. And then we see at the end of that 3rd episode and whatnot, like the everything that she's kind of suppressed down this entire time just kind of consumes her, right? And like it becomes too much. It just kind of unleashes until it breaks her in a way. So I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy like the mix of like character study versus drama versus band music, right?
Yeah.
So it's a weird mix, but
I will say sometimes during these big events, I'm just waiting for the event to happen, like the performance, to see what's gonna happen, or like I'm almost like looking for the reveal. And sometimes the dialogue along the way, I'm like, hurry the fuck up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like Recon that didn't know what's going on is probably just bored out of his mind. He's like, this looks ugly, and they're talking a lot. They're talking a lot. But I'm thinking of like the previous season. I'm like, who's this character? Who's this character? Are we gonna get the reveal? And then we finally get it, and I'm happy. I will say, like, it's not amazing. The reveals are good, but sometimes along the way, I'm not loving it.
No, it's not for everybody.
You pretty much explained exactly what I did, Brigo. Good job.
100%. I know.
Definitely not for everybody. I think the people that do watch it usually tend to enjoy it, which is why it's rated so high.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been trying to do, is try to recommend shows I know you guys would probably never watch otherwise, but that I enjoyed whenever I came across. So.
Okay. Also, the ending of the 3rd episode was crazy. So the girl, Mutsumi, who's like really shy and like can't speak her mind, and when she does, she thinks she ruins everything, right? Which makes it harder for her to even talk. She has the moment where she like collapses on stage, and then they thought it was a performance, and then they wanted more of that, which was interesting. But then at the very, very end of episode 3, she like takes on this whole new persona and goes crazy, and I don't know what's going on, but I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. I still don't quite know how to explain that either. I haven't seen much more than you, but I like the build up to that too, where everybody in the band's kind of arguing. They're all kind of have their own, they have their own approaches to how they want to do it. One wants to be, they're like, we got to be entertaining, we got to do what the people want, and then one has more of an artistic vision, and they're kind of all kind of going at it a bit. And Mutsumi's just standing there, and you kind of hear her ears ringing, like she's kind of looking. It does that first person's perspective thing again, right? Where you could just tell she's overwhelmed with anxiety at like everything kind of happening around her, and there's trains going on. There's just information overload, right? Or sensory overload. So she tries to talk to the Twin Tail girl about it, and Twin Tail girl's so focused in on the band itself, right? On this is all I have. This is that she kind of makes it about herself rather than listening to Mutsumi, and like she goes to that breaking point, right? Yeah, because she just feels so isolated. She's and like,
you get why
they're facing herself. She's like, the one on my side is me. I choose me. I think that's kind of what happened at the end of that third episode. I don't know, but
maybe I'm actually kind of want to watch episode 4 to see where like
I don't know
an explanation for that. I will say, understandable why Psycho, the twin hair or whatever, like the one with the pigtails or whatever, kind of had that reaction, because that's all she has left. She lost her father and her mother, and like she just dedicated herself to the band and music. So
that's what I love about.
She's hyper focused, and she's not seeing what other people are going through.
Yeah, and that's what I love about this type of series too, is none of the characters are like bad or evil or the villain, right? Like they just kind of all have their own circumstances and things they're going through. So I don't think the YouTuber girl's necessarily in the wrong either. Whenever she's like joining in, she's like, we got some big names here, we got some big faces. Like let's make the most of that, right? Like if that's gonna help us reach the big time, like why not make the use of all the weapons we have, right?
And I think they always had the plan to unmask it. She just did it without telling them and communicating a little bit early, which
was pretty selfish in that way, right?
Yeah.
And then you can't undo that. So it's it's just a lot of big personalities clashing, a lot of drama. I don't know. I have fun.
My thing is, what happened to Tamori, the girl who was heartbroken when it was broken up the first time? Where's she at?
So the thing is, that first season was my go, and all the Ave Musica characters that are in it are kind of just in the background, and we see the My Go characters about as much as we saw those Ave Musica characters, just kind of in the background there. Like we've seen Tamori like once or twice in the background, but like she's not a main character, right? And then season three is called Ave Musica / It's My Go. So like I don't know what to expect. It might have both. I don't know. All the characters.
This is crazy.
It's a shared universe, Briggs. The possibilities are limitless. It's the potential that's exciting.
Anyway, boys, let's go ahead and rate this, and then recommend anime for next week. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right, Recon, what are you rating this out of 10?
A solid 1 out of 10.
Let's go. We didn't go down to a 0.5. It's everything I ever wanted.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'll take it.
Jordan?
I mean, I don't know if I want to rate my own series, but I'd probably give it like a 7 or 8 thus far. I'm enjoying it. So.
Nice. You know what? The music was good too. I will say that.
I do love the Ave Musica music. It has that like hard rock kind of metalish vibe, but it's the one I vibe with the music the most out of all the music series I've watched. So.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and recommend anime for next week. What are you thinking, Jordan?
Do
you want me to go first?
So, yeah, you can go first.
There's a new anime on Netflix called Devil May Cry, DMC.
Okay.
Watched it.
Well,
the one with Dante, is that right? Or like based on the old games or whatever? I never played them. I just
based
know
on the
of
game.
it.
It's based on the Devil May Cry games.
Okay.
Don't say any opinions on it, Recon. I still want to do it.
Okay.
I haven't watched it yet. We'll talk about it next week. Jordan, we'll watch 3 episodes.
Sounds good.
All right, Recon, what are you going to recommend?
Have you guys seen Dororo?
I have not.
Dororo?
Briggs? Yeah, have you seen it?
I've watched it.
God damn it.
You're not talking about Dorohedoro. You're talking about like the samurai blonde guy, right?
Yeah, the samurai guy with the prosthetics. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Damn. Okay, fuck. That was a good choice.
I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna have to keep going, but Jordan, you go first.
You could do that one.
Yeah,
and then...
you could do it if you want. Recon with a base pick is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, fine.
Briggs did one that you've seen, but he hasn't. So you could do one that that he's seen.
You want to do it?
It's up to you guys.
Well,
I don't know.
try to think of another one for now, but
Right.
Jordan.
Jordan, you go.
Okay, so you guys aren't going to be happy with me.
Oh,
I
no.
figured.
Oh my
I figured I'd
God.
give a break from the girls band thing. I was trying to think.
Please!
Of Recon. I know he doesn't want to.
He's gonna
He doesn't
use
like
like
music.
Boys band.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know if he hates girls bands or what, but it's so sad. So I ran a poll on Twitter. So that's how I decided mine. I chose 4 completely, unlike the characters in this anime, completely unrelated series. That I've seen that I kind of liked, and I knew you guys probably hadn't seen. And the one that came out on top was Ora Emo. So my little sister can't be this cute.
I've seen
It
it.
actually won the poll. Oh, God.
I've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Have you seen it?
I haven't
Oremo,
seen it.
Aromanga Sensei. I've seen those.
Yeah.
That's
Jordan.
fucking crazy, Recon. Recon's seen everything. Recon's seen everything. Okay, fuck it. We were doing Devil May Cry, Oremo, and then
Yeah.
Fine. Let's do Dororo. Fine. I don't want to do Dororo.
no, but that means you've seen all of them, Recon. You
God.
you now. This is not how this is supposed to work, but you now
seen
have
the
to
witty anime.
suggest an anime you've never seen.
That I've never seen.
Yes.
Okay. Briggs, you're gonna have to give
On
me
the
something
spot.
I've never seen because you
All right.
know what I haven't seen.
Have you watched XXX Holic? And is that a hentai, chat? Please tell me that's not a hentai. The first
What?
one-
It's not. That's Clamp, I think. So I don't think it's
Oh,
a
XX.
I have a good one. Have you watched Kengan Ashura, Recon?
Kengan Ashura? No, I've watched Baki, but I know
Can-
Kengan Ashura is like fighting as well. So
Can
no,
we
I
get a
haven't seen that.
Can we get a 3D anime for Recon that he'll actually like?
Oh no! Don't tell me it's CGI.
CGI, baby.
No, I know. You're really gonna
Kengan
make me suffer
Ashura.
with that.
Okay, you choose. You choose between Kengan Ashura or XXX Holic.
I feel bad I chose the series Recon scene, but he's seen a lot.
He's seen a lot. That's the problem. That's why I have to go old.
Yeah.
I figured old or super new, but he. had
I watched
seen-
Ora Emo back in like high school, so
Ask the
I
chat,
figured that would
ask
be
the
one
chat.
that was old enough.
Ask the chat
but
between
maybe
the two.
not.
Ask the chat.
All right, chat.
Ask
On
them.
my Twitch, I'm doing a 1-minute poll. Okay, 1-minute poll.
Chat decides.
Anime.
Let me look them up actually. XX Holic. What the fuck is that?
Whatever happens, at
How
least
many
he's still watching,
Holics are there?
at least he's still watching Berserk. He hasn't seen that one. That's the one we're continuing
true,
with,
that's
right?
true.
So, yeah. He's the Berserk.
Wait,
version,
there's
so.
XX Holics K, XX Holic, Holic Shunmuki, Holic Movie, Holic Row. How many Holics are there?
It's true. At worst case,
All
he's-
the Holics.
he is watching Berserk.
Berserk,
as
yeah.
his anime.
Oh god. I don't even know which Holic to start with, honestly. I need some help over here. But it all depends on the poll.
The poll. It looks like Kengan Ashura is winning.
Oh god. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to dive into shitty CG anime.
I mean, this is
sure.
still your pick, Recon. You could tell Briggs to shove off and just choose something else if you want. This is.
Yeah.
I mean, I chose Ora Emo, and then he chose
I chose DMC.
Devil May Cry.
That's the thing. I have to select something I haven't seen. What are
guess
some
that's-
popular? What?
Yours could just be Berserk.
It's up to you.
I mean, true. Actually, yeah. I could continue on Berserk if you guys want.
So yours is Berserk. We already kind of decided we're gonna do that, and it worked out.
Yeah.
And then we are also gonna do Kengan Ashura, if that's okay. I know it's a lot, but I do feel like we're hitting.
Fine.
We're hitting a
Fine.
good amount of time for the podcast with 4, and with 3 we were always short. So,
Fine. We'll do 4.
all right, Kengan Ashura.
We'll add in Berserk and Kengan. Yeah.
Kengan Ashura, Berserk, Oremo,
Ora Emo.
or
yep.
Emo,
Ora
whatever the
Emo.
fuck.
My little sister can't be
D-
this cute.
and DMC. Okay.
Devil May Cry. Yeah.
Devil May Cry. All right, guys. I love you guys. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I'm sorry we made you boys suffer for 2 weeks straight.
Shinpaku.
Dude, I was thinking.
Bye, everyone.
I was thinking about doing Bang Dream as like as a counter troll to
I haven't
you.
seen any of the others. Yeah,
know,
I've
I
only
know.
seen them. I guess.
I was thinking about that as a funny joke, but I didn't do it.
Uh,
Oh my god! All right, bye guys.
One day.
Shinpaku.
bye, everyone.
Shinpaku. See you
Later.
guys.